They are not hidden. They are not buried. They are not secret. They sit in the open, scattered across hills, valleys, and plateaus. Thousands of them. Each one carved from solid stone. Each one weighing more than a truck. Each one older than most civilizations remember themselves. And no one knows why they exist. This is not a myth. This is not legend. This is not folklore. This is real. In the mountains of Laos, there is a place archaeologists avoid making confident statements about, because every explanation collapses under its own weight. This is the Plain of Jars. Some of these jars weigh over 20 tons. They were carved 3,000 years ago. There are no nearby quarries, no written records, no tools found, no consistent purpose. And they were placed with intent, not randomly, not carelessly, not naturally. Someone planned this. And whoever did, vanished. Northern Laos. A quiet, rural landscape. Rolling hills. Thick forests. Red soil. Nothing about the environment suggests monument building. Yet scattered across this land are more than 2,100 massive stone jars, spread across over 90 sites. Some stand alone. Others appear in clusters. Some are aligned. Some are not. Some are cracked. Some are perfectly smooth. Most are hollow. Many have flat rims. A few once had lids, now missing. These jars are not decorative. They are not symbolic in an obvious way. They were made to be used. The problem is, no known culture from this region was capable of producing them. The world learned about the jars in the 1930s. A French archaeologist, Madeleine Colony, documented them in detail. She measured. She mapped. She theorized. And when she was done, she admitted she had no definitive answer. Almost a century later, we still don't. Modern archaeology has added technology, carbon dating, and satellite mapping. But certainty? Still missing. The most accepted theory claims these jars were used in burial rituals. Here's how it supposedly worked. The dead were placed inside the jars. The bodies decomposed. The bones were later removed and buried nearby. Supporting evidence exists. Burial pits, human remains, beads, ceramics. But here's the problem. The jars are far too large for this purpose. Most ancient burial containers are sized to the body. These jars could hold several humans. And many jars show no signs of human residue. No organic traces. No staining. No consistent burial pattern. If these were funerary objects, why so oversized? Why so inconsistent? Why so many? And why place them in exposed, elevated locations? Burials are usually hidden. These jars were displayed. Some jars are over 3 meters tall. They were carved from sandstone, granite, or limestone. Stone that does not naturally occur near many jar sites. Which means, the stone was quarried elsewhere, then transported, then shaped, then positioned, without wheels, without metal tools, without draft animals capable of this weight. Even today, moving a 20-ton object through jungle terrain is a logistical nightmare. So how did ancient people do it? And more importantly, why bother? Another idea suggests the jars were used to collect rainwater. The logic: monsoon region, seasonal droughts, large containers. Sounds reasonable. Until you notice. Most jars are not waterproof. Many have cracks. Many are porous. They were not sealed. They were not lined. They were not placed in low-lying catchment areas. Some jars sit on slopes where water drains away. If this was water infrastructure, it was badly designed. Ancient engineers were not careless. This theory fails on execution. Some researchers propose the jars marked ancient trade routes, waypoints, territorial markers, ceremonial boundaries. But trade markers don't weigh 20 tons. You don't move mountains to mark a path. You build posts. You stack stones. You carve symbols. You don't hollow out megaliths. The cost-to-benefit ratio makes no sense. The jars are not uniform. Different shapes. Different sizes. Different stone types. Yet they share a consistent design language. Same concept. Same execution logic. This suggests a long-lived tradition. Passed down knowledge. Cultural continuity. But there is no surviving culture that claims them. No legends that explain them. No oral history that owns them. It's as if the builders were erased. During the Vietnam War, Laos became one of the most bombed countries on Earth. The Plain of Jars was hit repeatedly. Unexploded ordnance still litters the region. Entire sites are inaccessible. Which means, we may never uncover all the evidence. Some answers were destroyed before we could ask the questions. This isn't just an ancient mystery. It's a modern tragedy layered on top of it. In the last decade, archaeologists found something unexpected. Burial pits not inside the jars, but around them. This flips the burial theory. The jars may not have held bodies. They may have marked something else. Something sacred. Something ceremonial. Something symbolic. But symbolic of what? Let's be precise. To carve one jar. Stone extraction. Shaping with stone or bronze tools. Hollowing the interior. To move one jar. Rollers? Sledges? Human labor? The terrain makes all of these unlikely. And there is no evidence of roads. No ramps. No quarries nearby. Some quarries have been identified kilometers away. This implies a level of organization that contradicts what we know about regional societies at the time. This was not a primitive operation. This was an engineered project. Most theories ask, what were the jars used for? But what if the jars weren't the point? What if the jars were byproducts of something else? A process, a ritual, a technology, something we no longer recognize. Ancient history is not linear. Civilizations rise. They innovate. They collapse. And when they collapse, their most complex ideas are the first to be forgotten. Stone jars are not unique to Laos. Similar structures exist in India, Indonesia, the Caucasus. Different cultures. Different times. Same idea. Large hollow stone vessels. No shared explanation. This suggests either parallel development, unlikely at this scale, or shared knowledge, lost to time. They are not random. They are not natural formations. They are not crude. They are deliberate, engineered, placed with purpose. And that purpose was important enough to justify extreme effort. Civilizations love to explain themselves. They carve stories. They build inscriptions. They leave symbols. The Plain of Jars has none. No carvings. No writing. No decoration. Just function. That suggests the jars were not meant to be understood by outsiders. They were meant to be used by those who already knew. Whoever built this did not leave descendants who remembered, did not influence later architecture, did not persist. They vanished. Whether through migration, collapse, or assimilation, their greatest achievement remained unexplained. The most unsettling possibility is this. We have underestimated ancient societies, not just in skill, but in intent. The jars may represent a system we don't recognize because we don't think that way anymore. Modern minds look for utility, efficiency, categorization. Ancient minds often built for ritual cycles, cosmic alignment, social cohesion, things that leave no clear footprint. The jars may have structured life itself. Birth, death, season, memory. And when that culture ended, the meaning ended with it. The Plain of Jars isn't just an archaeological puzzle. It's a warning. History is not a straight line of progress. Knowledge can disappear. Capabilities can be lost. Entire systems can vanish without collapse or catastrophe. Silence does not mean simplicity. It often means complexity we no longer understand. Today, the jars still sit where they were placed. They endure weather, war, neglect. They wait. Not for discovery. Not for explanation. But for humility. Because the truth may not be that we haven't solved the mystery yet. The truth may be that we no longer have the mental framework to solve it at all. And the jars know that. They've been waiting for 3,000 years. They can wait longer.